Mary Dacey again. Day 2. I did get up this morning. I had a FaceTime call today with my granddaughter in Seattle, my only grandchild. And as my daughter is looking at it, she said to me, "Do you have a shiner?" This is one of the things that I wanted to bring up because over the past 6 years, my balance has absolutely left. I fall almost daily. However, up until the last 2 months, I've managed not to land on my face. In the last 2 months, every time I fall, I'm landing on my head somehow. This one, face first on the kitchen floor. I have been diagnosed with a number of illnesses, and we'll get into that on other vlogs, but I want to explain how it started out. There happens to be a new theory among a lot of doctors that autoimmune diseases may be brought on by stress. I can tell you from every single illness that I have been diagnosed with started with stress, going all the way back to when I was in high school. I remember my mother taking me to a dermatologist. I wasn't breaking out with acne, but I was scratching my head all the time. And what he said to my mother was, "You are making her nervous." Now, it may seem interesting that a doctor would say something like this, or pick up something from me, or some kind of vibe my mother may have been giving off, but I found it so very awesome that he said it, because I was adopted and I never had anything whatsoever in common with the people who adopted me. And I was nervous. I was nervous all the time. They were older. They believed children should be seen and not heard. And as a result, I guess, again, manifesting itself in a physical way, because what could I possibly say? I was told on a daily basis how fortunate I was to have been adopted by these people. I would never contradict them. I was never allowed to raise my voice in that house. And I bring these things up because each one will add on the next. I met my first husband in college, and one of the things I had always wanted in life was a big, loving family. And he came from an Italian family. He had, there were 4 children, and I thought he was wonderful. His mother was wonderful. His siblings were wonderful. And we dated for 3 years before getting married. But so soon afterwards, it almost felt like he had turned into a different version of my parents, where I couldn't do anything right. I was constantly being yelled at. And you would think that after dating for 3 years and seeing him interact with his family, I would have been prepared. But there's an old saying that you never know someone until you live with them. And I want to say this is not a negative or anything derogatory about my ex, his family, anything. What the point is that I'm trying to make is I came from a household where no one was allowed to raise their voice. And once we married, there was a loud voice every day. And when my children were born, they were yelled and screamed at. And I started with a brand new autoimmune disorder. I was soon diagnosed with both fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. So I don't want to take up any more of your time today, but I'd love it if you would tune in tomorrow and we'll pick up. Thank you. And remember, this is dedicated to the smart patient, where people like me can go and find answers when the doctors have ordered tons and tons of tests and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. You'll find a lot of wonderful information from the forum of patients like you and me who have nowhere else to go, and we find each other and the answers. Bye-bye.